Hey, I wanted to thank you for joining me live. It's Set Your Life to Music Open Studios in April, so every day I'm going live Monday through Thursday at noon EST and then hosting a masterclass on Fridays on Zoom at 6 p.m. EST for 30 minutes with Q&As, answering your questions. And the link for that is bit.ly/Set Your Life to Music Masterclass. So today's topic is going to be about writing lyrics, and I'm structuring this in starting from the beginning with your visual of what you want your songwriting and your singing to be, and then we're taking it there step by step through. A lot of you, or the people that I work with for songwriting, start with lyrics and then they put the lyrics to music. So let's take it from that approach right now, because you could also start with the music first and then add the lyrics. Both work. I've done both. So in terms of writing lyrics, I think one of the best things that you can do is start with a brain dump. So I have songwriting journals and music journals. This is one of them. I ran out of this one. This is another one. These are just from the past less than a year alone. But just get all of these different thematic topics out of your head and onto paper. And then from there, pick the topic that feels most to you. And if you don't want to necessarily go and just think of all thematic topics and you have something on your mind or on your heart right away, that's calling you. That's what you want to write about. So from there, you want to maybe go into phrases and think about phrases with similes and metaphors. So a lot of like Sia is an artist that comes to mind right now, and just this one song immediately comes to mind. She has a song on one of her albums called House on Fire, and she's saying, hey, I'm a house on fire, I want to keep burning. It's like a love song, but she uses that metaphor. So you can use things like that to describe any emotive state that you're in or situation, and that's a little bit more poetic. You can also use something with like or as for a simile. You also want to think about themes and thematically shifting patterns and then referencing back to your theme and then flipping it around with a new view on the same subject. Another thing that you can do is open up some poetry books and find some inspiration from certain poets or authors that you like, and you can borrow ideas from them. It doesn't mean that you're going to be copying them word for word. No, but you can get certain visuals and see what really sticks out to you. Write it out, and then by the act of writing it out, you see it on paper, and then you can see, okay, what elements of this do I want to grab? When you write lyrics, they don't have to rhyme or they don't have to fit the same rhythmic pattern. And you could also do loose rhymes. Another thing that you can do is go to thesaurus.com and find new words to say the same thing. Always, like here, for example, when I'm using synonyms or I'm looking up on the thesaurus, I wrote a bridge, very short bridge for one of my songs called Should Never Let Ya, and the bridge I ended up writing and keeping was, I know one day we'll leave this behind us and all of this will be just an illusion. So here in my lyrics, you can see I'm writing multiple things for the same topic. We'll be together, there'll be forgiveness, we'll reunite, we'll make amends, we'll be at peace, we'll release it behind us. And so you can, and then I also crossed a lot of them off. So you can see that I was going through different ideas and trying to say the same thing in different words. And then you can find certain words that sound good. Maybe you want to play on alliteration or plosives, and like all the B's, all the P's, or combinations of sounds. So that's one thing to do. Another thing, when I write lyrics, I never like to erase or throw away things that I've written. I just keep them and I move on to another page because they can always spark new ideas if I go back to them. And in terms of borrowing, if we go back to borrowing from poets or authors or songwriters or artists that you like, don't take their work directly from what it is, but you can go back and pull certain elements that you really like and then use that as a jumping off point. Maybe substitute your own words for a certain feeling, a different feeling, but in their same structure that they're saying it. Maybe you could keep that at that point, or you could take that and then have that be a jumping off point for the next idea that you want to arrive at. And always think about saying the same thing in a different way. So I have pages and pages here of different lyrical ideas for my song Shoulda Never Let Ya. And another thing that you want to do, it depends on what kind of music that you're writing, but generally for pop music you want to keep it conversational in tone. For example, I used to write the more artsy indie music, and so it'd be like more of a poetic tilt to my lyrics, and now I want to go more towards conversational. What would I say to you, a friend or something? So like, for example, here some of my ideas were about the laws of the universe, nature's duality, but that might be a little bit heavy lyrically for a pop song. But so you can try to think about the same thing in different words. So instead of saying nature's paradox, law of duality, I say like we're opposites. Opposites, that's conversational. That's saying the same thing about duality. See what I mean? And also you can draw inspiration from certain current events. Like my song Shoulda Never Let Ya originally was titled Apollo because I started writing this beat. Well, this is with the music first, but I started writing the beat back when Neil Armstrong died, and I was inspired by the moon, and then what is the dark side of the moon? And so if we're talking about duality, we have the front side of the moon, the light that faces us, and then the dark side of the moon behind it. But dark side of the moon is Pink Floyd, so I'm not going to use that. So I talk about behind the moon, and then I did some more research into who are the astronauts that flew around the moon. And it's actually really fun researching this stuff and talking about how those astronauts on the other side of the moon, they lost communication for the spell that they were behind the moon because the moon was blocking their communication with the earth. So I use these ideas and then I put it into my own song talking about opposites and the distance between us, which is the same thing about the moon being the distance between those astronauts and the earth, and I'm talking about a personal relationship. So you see how you can draw inspiration and then tilt it around, say it in different words, and then this gives you a good jumping off point to get ideas out of your head and onto the paper. That's the most important thing. And then after that is the red pen moment where you just scratch and edit and cut it down. But that gives you a starting point. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, DM me. I love talking about songwriting with you guys. Also, Friday, every Friday in April at 6 p.m. EST, that's 3 p.m. Pacific time, that's 11 p.m. London time, and midnight Europe and like South Africa time. I'm doing a masterclass on Zoom, bit.ly/setyourlifetomusic masterclass. It's free, it's 30 minutes. We're doing a little bit deeper dive and taking Q&A. And so I invite you to join me. It's gonna be really fun and chill, and we're gonna talk about music, and it's expansive and it's a safe place. And so join me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow at noon EST. Lots of love. Bye.